guys, Student Aesthetics bringing you another video, and today I want to answer a question a subscriber had on one of my recent videos, and I thought it was a really good one. Hey Mariah, would like to ask how to progress on accessory lifts like curls and stuff, reduce the rest time or increase more weight. And so this brings the topic of progressing in isolation exercises. Before you even bring up this subject, first of all, you gotta ask yourself, are you making progress on your key lifts or your compound exercises? So exercises that work multiple muscles, like bench press, squat, deadlift, overhead press, etc. Are you making progress on those exercises? And if so, do you need to progress on isolation exercises? So let me tell you like this, like if you progress on the bench press, all right, and you use the same weight on tricep extensions a couple exercises later, you have still made progress on those tricep pushdowns, all right? Because your triceps were more fatigued because you already overloaded them on your compound lift, all right? You get what I'm saying? So you gotta realize that once you make gains on your compound lift, and that compound lift trains the same muscle that you were isolating. For example, if you're doing weighted pull-ups, you will also work your biceps. Now, if you use 5 kg on weighted pull-ups more than last week, which is actually a lot, I would more like say 1 kg or maybe 2. But if you use a little more weight than you did last week on weighted pull-ups, and after that you're able to use the same weight on barbell curls as you did last week, you will have made gains on those barbell curls as well, even though you did not realize it. So ultimately, if you use the same weight on those isolation exercises as you did last week, you will have made progress. Now, obviously, you can still make extra progress on those lifts. So what did you exactly say? Reduce the rest time or increase more weight? That really depends. It's not really something you can definitely answer. You always want to play around with both variables. All right, so let's say this week you're doing barbell curls for 10 reps, 3 sets, and you're taking 1.5 minutes rest. Then the next week you might want to play around a little bit and you do that same weight for the same amount of reps, but then you're only taking 1 minute rest. All right, and the third week, so the week after that, you will basically up the weight a little bit and start off again with 3 sets, but then do around 6 or maybe 8 reps. Probably 6, because isolation exercises are not really something you can progress on that much. So you build up again at 6 reps and you take 1.5 minute rest again. And then you build up from there and you do 7 reps the next week, 8 reps the next week. So an isolation exercise is usually only 1 or maybe 2 reps you can really progress on. And in terms of weight, that just takes a long amount of time. Okay, I've been doing kind of the same amount of weight on dumbbell curls and hammer curls for like friggin' years, guys. Well, not exactly the same weight, but I've been progressing like, you know, 5 or 10 kg, you know what I'm saying? So it's going very slowly compared to the squat, where as you can progress like 5 kg every single week. On dumbbell curls, that might take like a few months, you know? So it really depends. Like, I'm also talking about perfect form here, but it really depends on the exercise. But generally, isolation exercise, like I said, you want to use the same weight as you did last week, or just 1 more rep, a little less rest time, and progress in that way. But do not stress it that much, all right? So if you use the same weight, you have already made progress, so be happy about that. Now, this brings up another point. If a certain lift is lagging, such as your deadlift, all right, you might want to throw in some isolation work that can help your deadlift become better. All right, so in that situation, you do want to progress a lot on your isolation exercises because you are not able to progress anymore on your compound lift. For example, your bench press is stalling. It just seems like you cannot get that lockout anymore, all right? And you need to work more on your tricep. In that case, you're not making progress on your main compound lift, the bench press, so you need to work on those accessory movements to really build that muscle up in your tricep to be able to perform the movement. So in that case, you do want to make a little more progress on those isolation lifts. But in general, you do not want to focus too much on those isolation exercises. Like I said, just make some slight progress here and there, but really focus on those compound lifts. So that was basically what I wanted to say with this video. I hope I answered your question, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like the video down below. Make sure to comment down below and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out. See you in the next video.